Now, when doing prompt engineering for ChatGPT when using Code Interpreter, there's one very useful special technique that only applies when using this Code Interpreter feature you should be aware of. Let's say we have a file with some text that we want ChatGPT to summarize. For that, we can of course upload this text file, and we could then tell ChatGPT to summarize the text in this file. Now, the problem with this prompt is that ChatGPT might try to write some code that tries to summarize the text. But since ChatGPT itself is actually pretty decent at summarizing texts, we instead might prefer to get ChatGPT to just write and execute code for opening the text file, but we don't want ChatGPT to use Code Interpreter for summarizing the text. Instead, that should be done by ChatGPT itself. We could therefore enhance this prompt by adding some extra context to it. For example, here I'm telling ChatGPT that it should summarize this text file, but that it should only write and execute Python code for opening the file, and that it should produce the summary without writing or executing any code, that it should instead summarize the text on its own, basically. And with that, we should ensure that indeed ChatGPT does not try to generate some code that tries to do the summary, but that instead it only uses and executes code for opening the file and getting access to its content, and that it then provides a summary of the content in that file on its own, just as it would do it without Code Interpreter if we would just give it some raw text that it should summarize. And this is therefore another pretty useful prompting technique you should be aware of, because sometimes you might want that raw ChatGPT behavior without it using Code Interpreter, at least not for all parts of the task.